We drove 3 minutes to where? Where are we, Princess?
Thomas Jefferson's Montessori.
Montessori! It's Monticello. It sounds a lot like Montessori. But yes, apparently back in the day, everybody named their houses. It wasn't just enough to have an address, but it had to have a name like Montessori. Monticello. Monticello. Though getting here and the prices, everything, a little bit more involved to come here. Ticket price is a little bit more, $42 for adults to come to Monticello. Parking down the hill, you got to take a shuttle to get up here. Tickets here, if you want to get in the house, more important to reserve in advance because there's less capacity for the tours. And here, you definitely have to be on time to join your tour. Oh, and when I say this one's $42, the highlights tour that we took is $42, which is the cheapest ticket that includes admission into the house. Once you get up to the top of the hill, there are some tents that you wait at just over there. They say be there 10 minutes before. They suggest getting here at least 30 or 40 minutes before to allow time for parking and the shuttle up on top. So we're gonna go to our tents now, because it's about 10 minutes before our tour. All right, so 45 minutes later, we just finished out the tour, just got out. A really good tour on the inside. A little different than at Mount Vernon. At Mount Vernon, George Washington's house, there's basically a docent in each room, and you move between different people who tell you the story of that room. Here at Monticello, at Thomas Jefferson's house, there's one tour guide that takes you through the whole house. And so I liked doing it this way better. I think you just get a better story because the tour guides aren't telling you like, well, I don't know if they told you in the last room, which they were doing a lot in Mount Vernon. What we learned inside, a lot of great history about Thomas Jefferson. He was really kind of a genius when it came to architecture and engineering. Lots of cool stuff in there, like his original copy machine that he made, these beds that are in the center of walls so that he stayed warm. A yellow room. By the way, there were yellow rooms in George Washington's house and Thomas Jefferson's house. Apparently presidents really like yellow. We took some selfies in those rooms because why? Well, we're both wearing yellow. The princess just joined me right here. Whoa. What was your favorite part of the house, Princess? The yellow room, definitely. We also learned that Thomas Jefferson was one of the founding fathers, authoring writers of the Declaration of Independence. Actually, I knew that before, but for those of you who aren't brushed up on your American history, Thomas Jefferson also founded the University of Virginia, which is here in Charlottesville. You can actually see the campus from this property, which is really fun. And you might not be aware of this, he's a famous architect, and so every nickel in the United States has this building on the back of it. That's right, Monticello is on the back of every US 5-cent coin. Tomorrow we're gonna see the University of Virginia campus and the famous rotunda there that is built and modeled after the Pantheon in Rome. You'll also find Monticello on almost everything they sell in the gift shop, including the real brewed iced tea. You know what you'll also find in the gift shop? Replicas of the Declaration of Independence. If you've been hankering to buy one of these but never knew where to get one, look no further than Monticello. And speaking of engineering feats for Jefferson, they had a replica of an odometer that he built, and then they've also got this little map that talks about how long it would take back in his day to go from Monticello to the president's house in Washington, D.C., which, you know, about 2.5 hours today driving. How long would it take in his time? About 4 days and 3 nights. Crazy. And in case you're wondering how tall Thomas Jefferson was, well, just about as tall as me, which is about 6 feet tall, or just about 2 curious princesses. George Washington stood just a couple inches taller at 6'3".